So I want to focus this video quickly on NICU advocacy and the landscape and how it was and how it's kind of shifting as we move forward. So traditionally, NICU advocacy has been dominated by preemie parents. You will see that the major legislation changes in the US and other places have been based on preemie parents coming together and advocating. You look at the history of March of Dimes, it's about prematurity, it's not about HIE. They have one mention of HIE in their entire website, and yet they have a ton of resources and funding and support in NICUs, across the country in the US, and then there's other organizations worldwide. So you'll see the past few years in particular, when my son Max was born 12 years ago, the messaging about NICU and inclusion of the spectrum of causes, gestational ages, things like that was not there. That has been changing in the past 5 years because we have been advocating really, really hard for that, and really trying to move that forward with other NICU organizations and other physicians and task forces and all sorts of groups like that in research. So, with that, we not only have families that are starting to get involved in changing the makeup of these, patient advisory councils at their NICUs and hospitals, which we recommend all of our families, if you have the ability, the time, the resources to get involved with yours or your perinatal quality initiative with your state if you're in the US or, in your home country and home region as well. Because these are really powerful opportunities to have your voice heard and elevate the unmet needs of the HIE community into that work. We have lots of families that are doing that. If you need coaching on that, please reach out to us. And then just from a perspective of us as an organization in the community and advocacy, research, leadership, and participation, we've been just blazing ahead on that. So, we have membership and leadership as board leadership in the Newborn Brain Society. We have been working with the NICU Family Centered Care Task Force as a family partner. I was the first non-preemie parent to be part of that group. There's many now, which is really great. We have representation in the International Neonatal Consortium, with the NICU Parent Network, with the Cerebral Palsy Research Network, with the Neonatal Research Network, NICHD, which is a part of NIH with the US. And then obviously in research, we have a representation with many, many different research conglomerates and groups that influence care. So we have been working really hard at this. We keep knocking on the door of the AAP Society of or section of perinatal and neonatal medicine, and finding other inroads to influence change in those regards as well. I speak often at international and national conferences. This fall in particular, I'm getting ready to head to Johns Hopkins in October for their NICU conference. I'm speaking at Hot Topics in Neonatology, which is one that we've been trying to get into for years, in December. And then going to hopefully be speaking at the Pediatric Academic Society meeting next year as well. All of these opportunities are in front of neonatologists or in front of physicians that work in the NICU. And anytime that they hear us, hear our story, hear our unmet needs as a community, they do listen. And a lot of that is based on strategy, communication strategy, and relationship building. And so that's part of what we do. One of the other huge accelerators for us is Haley Thomas, our social worker. She, as part of her job, is responsible for outreach. She meets with NICUs and PICUs, multiple times a week. She's meeting normally with anywhere between 3 to 5 NICUs every single week to meet with teams to talk about the needs of our community and how we can work together to best serve families, to make sure families are connected and feel supported. And that has made a significant change as well. We're seeing those referral patterns change. So we're seeing the direct efforts change also. Partnering on research. So the clinical trial sites, we're able to partner with the clinical trial sponsors, so either industry or academia, and then we can get right in there and make sure that families are connected to support right from the get-go. It, again, changes stigma and make sure that we're building equity of support, equity of, messaging, representation, everything, which will lead to better care for our families. Hope that helps. I know I talked really fast and I have a lot to say about it, so thanks for asking.